Boom, coming in hot on a Friday, Chinch. How we doing, brother?
I'm good, dude. I got a question for you with your your mental performance stuff and all that
What do
kind of stuff. I think this will actually be a good question for young athletes and parents of athletes, okay? Dude,
Okay.
I'm starting to obsessively weigh myself.
Right,
I remember a couple weeks ago you told me you're like, do not weigh yourself every day.
right.
I want to ask why. So yesterday, this is what bothered me. So yesterday morning, I weighed myself and I was like a couple pounds over where I want to be. And then like later in the afternoon, I weighed myself and I was like a pound less than I want to be. And I'm like,
Right, yeah.
and I obsessively have been weighing myself. You think that's a bad idea?
Well, I mean, it depends. I think if you're doing it because yeah, it's like, oh man, 3 pounds. Because, dude, it matters. Like when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be less than you are in the afternoon or the night, as when your body gets some inflammation. You're eating. You have obviously food in you. Your digestive tract starts working. So it's going to be 3 pounds probably either way. Sometimes, so if you do weigh yourself, you want to make sure you're weighing yourself consistently at the same time every day. So if you wake up in the morning, weigh yourself every morning. I am a believer of whatever you measure improves. Like when I measure my sleep every night, like I become a really good sleeper because I measure it for the last year and a half. So
Right.
like I'm becoming a really good sleeper when I eat, what time I eat, all that stuff. I think the biggest thing, I don't weigh myself. And a biggest thing I like to feel is like how I feel.
You never weigh
How
yourself.
I feel. I mean,
you look great. You're in like the best shape of your.
Yeah,
it's
like I'm
better than
yeah,
playing shape, to be honest. I would say you're welcome.
I
For
was
that.
stronger as a player though, dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm in better shape. Like I like I look, I'm feeling good.
You look sexy. You look very sexy.
You could see my abs, which that's the first time in my whole life you could see them,
Amazing.
which is incredible. But I'm saying, like, when I was playing, dude, I wasn't eating as great as I am now, but I could bench 350. I could squat, but you're just at a different level. You're in your 20s and, I'm in my 40s now, obviously. But I think the biggest thing is that somebody wrote, Brian Panuzzo wrote something good the other day, our buddy, he's a killer too, but relentless consistency. So like, I feel like, dude, if you want to weigh yourself to just see what's going on, maybe once a week, I don't know, to measure yourself and see how you're doing. But I'm big on how do your clothes fit, and I'm big on like how do you feel, dude?
I love that.
Instead of weighing yourself, like how do you feel? What's your energy look like? What are you doing? What's your eating window? Like there's a whole thing, where they talk about your circadian window for eating, and they say if you could keep it to like 8 hours, no more than 12. Like so by the first
Right.
time. Chinch, the first time you take anything other than water, your clock starts. So like today, I got up early with the girls, but I just drank water till 9 a.m., knowing that I like to do it in like a 10-hour window. So even 8 to 10, 8 is the best. So from 9 to 5, if I eat from 9 to 5 or drink whatever I want from 9 to 5, bam, there's my 8-hour window. I could stretch it to 10, which will be 7. That means last bite of food, last bite of drink, 7 o'clock before bedtime. Dude, if you start
I
doing
like
that,
that. That's
you never
kind
have
of
to
what
weigh
I do
yourself
already. Yeah.
again.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
the other thing I
because-
do? I'm
Yeah.
really into like metabolism boosters. So like when I have coffee in the morning, I put a scoop of cinnamon in it. Apparently that
Good. Yeah,
I do
cinnamon's
that.
great.
Or like mid-afternoon, if I'm hungry.
Not a scoop. You don't put a whole scoop, dude. Or just a couple
No,
dashes.
not a scoop. A couple
Yeah.
dashes,
I was
but
like,
there's
damn,
big,
you
they're
like
big
cinnamon
holes.
coffee?
No,
Yeah.
the worst is when you finish it. Like I actually have some in here right now. The last sip, sometimes if I'm not paying attention, there'll be that like crud on the bottom, and I'll go like this, and I'll be like, "You ever see the girl who tried to do the cinnamon challenge?" When she's like,
she blew it out.
that happens to me every once, like every 2 weeks when I put a little too much in, and there's a little too much in the last sip. Wait, there was something else I had for you that I thought you would appreciate. Weight lifting, whatever. I think we got it. We got it down. That's good.
Dude, I drink a green drink every morning too, and sometimes if you don't whip it up good enough, dude, you'll take a sip, and I'm sure people out there do the same thing. You do like the athletic greens.
Yeah.
You take a sip, and it's a huge clump of it in there. And you're like, ah.
Oh, terrible. Hey, I got a question. This is the last part of this. Where do you gain weight? I gain weight here and in my gut. Those are the two spots. Like I have absolutely no butt. It's flat now. At my age, it's like
It's over.
It goes
It's
straight
over.
down. It just goes straight down. It's very uncomfortable. but
If
I
I
gain
gain
weight in
weights
my
in my
gut
face,
and my face. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think most people do. I'm gonna get my love handles and my face.
Yeah, I don't
what
get love
happens.
handles. I just get like a pouch, like second trimester style. All right, so let's move on. Hey, a lot of good stuff. Mookie Betts, he's just had another kid. It's all great.
Yeah.
Tried to get to the ballpark on time. Didn't last night, but guess what he did? He played shortstop and made a
isn't that
sick double
incredible?
play. Turned 6-3 double play by himself.
And also, too, he's the one guy that can play wherever he wants, because we talked about how good of a bowler he is. He's good at everything. Like Mookie Betts, one of those guys, he's just good at everything. Like John Smoltz. Like Mookie Betts came up as a short. I think it was drafted as a shortstop in 2011. I'm pretty sure.
Shortstop, second base. He was a middle infielder.
I don't know if he ever played. I mean, he might have played his first year in the minors at short, then played second, and then it was so good. Like, we got to go figure it out because Pedroia is there, moving to the outfield, and now he's one of the best outfielders. But,
So
dude,
cool.
he turned that two like it was. He turned two like it was no big deal. Up the middle to his left, bam, glove side.
He looked like Larkin. He looked kind of like Larkin.
Jump throws it. Yeah, incredible, man.
Very cool. Very cool. So
And Chinch, it's fun for dudes, man. For guys, it's 162 games. To mix it up every once in a while, play a new position is like, that's fun for those guys.
amazingly, you never ever played any other position other than DH or first base in a major leagues, huh? Even in the minors? When you were a kid, did you play any other positions growing up, like figuring out?
I played a little bit of third. Dude, I played short like in like rec ball.
What?
In like 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 when you're playing in the league.
Oh yeah.
I was played short. And then we go to travel ball. I played first. But no, I mean, I played one time in Boston. I was there, I came in as like a guy off the bench, right? So the media's around me one day and they're like, hey, one guy just was like, hey, Rob, I think it was like Rob Bradford was like, could you play, outfield if you had to,
Huh.
And I was thinking,
could you?
I honestly think I could. And I think I could have played third if I had to. I almost played third a couple games with the Reds because I used to take ground balls over there every day. I used to take ground balls at third and ground balls at short with Larkin. I became such a better first baseman, bro.
By fielding grounders
because of Lark. Yeah, Lark, dude. When I first got to the big leagues, I was a decent first baseman. Was very robotic though. Right, left, pick it up, right, left, throw. Everything was and Lark was fun. Like came up to me one day. He's like, "Hey, man," I tell my kids this. Like, if you ask my kids, what's 3 pieces of advice your dad had given you in your life that you remember? One of them, there's no doubt, 100%, they would say, be an athlete. I always say to my kids, be an athlete. Even when you're doing anything in life, just be an athlete, dude. Figure it out, right? And Larkin would say to me, hey, man, you got to be an athlete out here. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, dude, if you got a ball to your right, he's like, throw it from down below. He's like, throw it on the run. He's like, play through the ball, spin throw. Like, and so he's like, what I want you to do is I want you to come over to short after you're done taking your grounders, take some ground balls at me. So I did, dude. I take my grounders at first, million grounders. I go over to Larkin short. I still have Juan Castro. Thank you, Juan. Gave me your glove back in the day. I got Juan Castro's glove. I went over there and bro, I would take balls at short with Juan Castro, who's one of the greatest defensive player I think I've ever seen in my life. Juan Castro, Lark, and every day, dude, we'd work on turn and two. I would do everything they did. Charge the ball on the run, backhand flips, pivot with the throw. So then I went over to first, man. I swear, after I started doing that, my game at first base went to another level. It really did. Like
footwork and everything, I'm sure.
Dude, and here's another play. One of the plays I remember big time was that play to my right. I started learning to really get around it, play through it with a flip, right? And the other play was on the bunt defenses. Man, the guy tried to get a bunt down. I was charging hard on a backhand, bam, get the guy at third. Like stuff that I had never really done.
Like a slow grounder to short, you get that same mechanics that you've been practicing, and you can take it to first base on a bunt. That's a great story, dude.
Exactly. So yeah, so what I'm saying is that was fun for me. So to do it in the game would have been incredible. I wish I would have, looking back now, I wish I would have had the chance to do it. I think it would have been incredible. But to see Mookie Betts at short making that play, I mean, that's just fun for him too, as much as it is for us watching it.
It's funny you say it was fun. What I love, like fun drills are very important. Like when you used to play basketball in like high school, whatever, and you would play knockout, you can still practice your craft. It's great to do like skill challenges with a little game involved in it, because then you're not even, it's almost like an afterthought that you're practicing and that you're honing your skills, but you can have a fun game with it with people. Like you said, like when you say I had fun doing those drills, that's the key. That's great. If you can have fun working, I mean, that's what everybody's golden dream is in their lives, you know?
No, you're right. And dude, I'll tell you what, when you're playing that many games, you better find a way to have fun. I think that's why you hear all these nutty stories about baseball players. You're like, that guy did that. Pete Harness does a handstand in the shower to clean his butt. Like every day. Yeah. Like we're like, guys are just trying to figure out stuff to make each other laugh and to have fun because it's such a long year. And it sometimes gets so monotonous that like, you watch guys do something like this is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, we're going crazy and we just want to have fun.
I love it. All right, we're gonna have super fun right now because I've told you this. I'm like, hey, Pete Alonso just kind of moved up in the record books for the Mets. 155th homer as a Met. He is now 5th all time, but I don't even care about that. He's great.
But what's incredible is, man, that's what I mean. When you look at a guy like Pete Alonso, we think he's so young. And you think, because I think the number sometimes we get as fans is 500 homers, 400 homers, 600. No, he's got how many homers, Chinch?
He has 155 homers as a New York Met.
And he's what, 5th all time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you think about the Piazzas, the Darryl Strawberries.
It's Strawberry, Wright, Piazza, Howard Johnson, and Pete Alonso. That's a crazy good list.
But that's what I'm saying. That's crazy how quickly, 155 homers is a ton of homers, guys. A ton of homers. You're talking about the Mets. You're talking about all the history. Like, he's 5th all time. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah, so I have way more fun stuff to talk about. And you Reds fans better turn up your volume right now because I said to Sean, I go, hey, are you in the record books at all for any of the Cincy stuff? And I will say this. I'm going to tell you all. This is how humble he is. He did not know. He really didn't know. And so we started looking right before we came on. And I'm like, well, hold on. We got to stop. Let's do this on the air. Here we go, Reds fans. And I know you guys like Dimitri are listening in too and everything. Guess who is number 7 all time in Reds batting average? Sean Casey.
Let's go. What with
Pete Rose is 5th.
305. Who are the other guys ahead of us?
Okay. Ed Roush.
Yep.
Jake Beckley. I don't know who that is. He only played 339 games. You don't count Jake.
Sorry, you're out, Jake.
Bug Holiday, who I would like to have a beer with.
I mean, when did he play? 1897?
Yeah, he probably had a black and white photo. Ernie Lombardi, Pete Rose 5, Pat Duncan 6, Sean Casey 7. Guess who's 8? This is a good one. Hal Morris. Very similar type hitter to you.
The snake raked.
Ken Griffey Jr. 9er. Okay.
No, Ken Griffey.
Oh, Ken Griffey Sr. You're right. I'm sorry. Senior. I apologize. Ken Griffey Sr. Mr. Griffey. All right. Yeah. Where do we want to go next? I'm going to go doubles. Wait. No, let's go hits.
Okay.
You're not going to have more than Pete Rose. He's number 1. Larkin.
Let me guess where I'm at.
This is a good one. Yeah.
I don't even know how many I had. No, I had over 1,000.
As a Red, now remember everybody, Sean played for multiple teams. As a Red, you had 1,223 hits.
Yes.
There's some legit dudes ahead of you on this list, I got to say. You want to know your number? You want to know where you were?
I'm 20th.
Dude, you're 21st, which is kind of ironic because that's your number.
21st. Let's go.
That's pretty interesting, right?
I love it.
Pete Rose won, obviously. He had 3,358 homers or hits as a Red.
As a Red,
he didn't just play for the Reds. That's probably top 10 of all time overall.
It's incredible. Yeah, I know. It's incredible.
How about Lark, number 2 with 2,340?
Wow.
Concepcion 3. Some weird, some black and white photo guys. Votto's 5. Bench 6. Tony Perez.
How many does
7.
Votto have?
As a Cincinnati Red, it's the only team he's ever played for, right? 2,093. Yeah. So he's got 2,093 hits, I would assume, overall. Okay, what else? Where else do we want to go? What do you want to look at next? This is so much fun.
OPS is the big one.
Okay, OPS. This is big. Let's see how good Sean Casey was.
I say it's incredible because the Reds are the oldest franchise ever.
Yeah, this is
kind
like
of fun.
Yeah, no, this
actually makes me feel good.
You should
about myself.
Yeah, send this episode to your kids and be like, guys, I tell you this stuff all the time. Just freaking, I was pretty damn good player. This is maybe the most impressive stat. You are 10th all time in Reds OPS. 10th.
Wow, dude.
All time. You ready? Here's some names. I'll throw some names. Okay. Frank Robinson 1. Right. Joey Votto 2. How about this? Adam Dunn 3.
Wow.
I
Well,
wouldn't
Dunner
have
got
thought-
on base and he hit homers, man.
There you go. Joe Morgan 4. Eric Davis 5. Ken Griffey Senior, I believe 6. Maybe it's junior. I don't know. It says center
Junior's probably
field.
junior.
Senior didn't play center. for
Yeah,
the
he
Reds.
did. No, junior did. Yeah, senior.
All right.
Senior didn't play. That's
Whatever.
junior.
We can
That's
Google
junior.
it. We can ask who's the great Reds PR guy. Maybe I'll email him.
Yeah, Rob Butcher.
I'll ask Butcher if it's junior or senior. 7, George Foster. 8, Ted Kluszewski. 9, Ed Roush. 10, Sean Casey. That's like a freaking Hall of... How'd you not make the Hall of Fame, dude? Come on.
Dude, those are some big time players. I mean, even like I'm looking at that going,
Dude, you're
that's
in
incredible.
the top 10. Do you know what your OPS was? If you do, that's kind of weird.
Well, I know I was 814 from my career. I was probably over that.
834. It's that one.
834.
It's that year you didn't hit homers in Fenway is probably what dropped it down a little
zero,
bit.
when I had 0 in Fenway, when Terry Francona told, one time we were at this, it was me, Jim Tomey, and Terry Francona. We were at John Hirschbeck's son Michael's, charity event, and Tito gets up there. He's like, "Well, Case," in front of everybody. He's like, "We brought you in for a little power off the bench. We didn't mean no power."
That's funny. A little power, no power. Okay, what else can we do? Let's do doubles. You got to be on the doubles list, right?
I got to be on the doubles. Man.
All right, doubles. Click.
I
Oh
think
my
I'm
God,
300.
dude! You're in there. You're in there, dude. You're 13.
Am I 13? What I have 250 something or something? 200.
There you go. 256.
256.
Number
256 doubles.
1 Rose, 2 Votto, 3 Larkin. Dave Concepcion up there. All right, let's do. What should we do? Should we do one more? How about hit by pitches? Were you hit by pitches a lot?
No, let's see home runs. Home runs.
Ooh, okay. Scroll. Where's the freaking home runs? Hits, doubles, triples, extra. Oh, there we go. Home runs. What do you guess you would be at?
I think I remember seeing the stat that I had 118 homers in 8 years.
You got that one down.
I don't know. What am I, 25th?
23rd.
All right,
Also,
23rd all time. I'll take it.
extremely respectable.
I'll take it.
Who's one? Here, let's guess. Johnny. It's Johnny.
1 is Frank Robinson.
No, Johnny Bench.
Oh, Johnny's number 1. Okay.
2 is, Joey Votto has 342 homers, and he hasn't hit homers in like 4 years. Holy crap!
He's on the Cooperstown train.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Joey, I think so. I really do.
Yeah, man, we forget about how good Eric Davis was, right? He's in the top 10 of everything.
How many does he have?
Homers?
Yeah.
As a Red, and don't forget, he played for the Orioles a bunch, hit like 1920, a couple of years there. 203
Cardinals.
as a Red.
Wow, that's legit.
Lark, 198. Brandon Phillips, man, remember he used to hit bombs.
Dude, Brandon Phillips had a great
He
career.
was a player,
in Cincinnati.
dude. I loved him.
He
Hated
could
Brian
pick it at
Kenny.
second.
I don't think there's a human being on a planet who hates Brian Kenny more than Brandon Phillips.
Then I know, because you never have him in the top 10. We're like,
Well, because
Brandon
he's not
Phillips.
an analytics guy. He's not an analytics. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. When he didn't make the top 10 list at MLB Network, he would.
Dude, the players watch.
Oh, they sure do,
The
don't
top
they?
10 list is top 100. They take offense.
Oh,
These guys take offense. I probably would have. I would have too.
Dude, I've had people, like baseball players, like when like one of you guys are around a field somewhere, like All-Star game or whatever, like, hey, this is Chin. She's a producer at MLB Night. I've had guys like just turn and look at me and go, you leave me off the top 10 list? And I'm like,
yeah,
I didn't do it. But dude, some guys get real red ass on that.
Dude, I did the same thing. I go cover guys. I go, hey man, we get an interview. He's like, you didn't have me on top 100. I was like, well, what's that have to do with the interview? And I was like, we have nothing to do with it. It's the research guys in the back.
Yeah.
We have nothing to do with the top 100 list.
Yeah, it's very.
Don't kill the messenger. I'd be pissed though too if I was a player. I'm not in the top 100. I ain't doing an interview.
Well, especially, dude. Some of the guys like in contract years, they would get super red ass over it because it's like,
well, because you can use it in arbitration or a contract year.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, one more story. We're going to talk about a child who is now a man whose dad was one of the bigger men ever. Bo Bichette, killing it, bro.
Well, I used to change Bo Bichette's poopy diapers back in 2000 when he was with, when he was with the Reds.
Amazing.
Dante. And I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, Mandy, used to literally babysit. They'd be like, we're going to the game. Can you babysit Bo? And she'd be like, yeah, no problem. I'll babysit him, So, like I said, that's a real fact. Dude, this guy, listen, brother, Bo Bichette, I really feel like sometimes the best thing that can happen to us in life or in baseball is struggle, right, is just that struggle, because it forces you, the only time you get real change is when you get disturbed. When you get disturbed, you're forced to kind of go inside and figure out, I'm either going to figure this out or I'm not. I felt like Bo Bichette really had a below average year last year. And then he became the best player one of the best players in the game in the last 2 months, carried the Blue Jays into the postseason, absolutely raked. And he's still doing it. Had a great spring training. He's come out the gates here absolutely firing and getting better on a lot of different ways. When one of the things they talk about is, hey, this guy swings too early. His chase rates, he's swinging at first pitches all the time. He doesn't have plate discipline. Well, now he's still swinging at first pitches, but a lot less than he has been in his career. And he's swinging at more strikes. He's driving the ball more. Dude, might not be a player in the game that drives the ball to right center as a righty as good as Bo Bichette. So we're seeing Bo Bichette go to absolute another level, and not only huge for, his for the Blue Jays, but for that team and for him personally, as far as like getting that big deal hopefully here soon.
Yeah, two responses to that. The first one, if you haven't listened to our conversation with Dante Bichette,
yes,
the dad, go listen. I apologize in advance. We sucked back then. The audio kind of sucked. He was in like the hallway of a hotel, but he did give us great insight. Part two, it's funny you mentioned that, like with the adversary stuff. I was talking to an executive today somewhere else who you also know, initials JE, right. And it's funny. We were talking about you get to the mountain, like Bo Bichette, boom, boom. What was he? 22 years old. He's a starter in the big leagues. You got to the mountaintop, right?
Right.
I was having the same conversation about some of the other times in my career. It's like getting to the mountaintop doesn't stop there. You get on top of that building, guess what? You got to start looking down because everybody's trying to knock your legs out. They're trying to knock your legs out. So you reach a goal. This is really good for you with what you do and what you're talking about. You reach that goal. Bam, I did it. I got that job. I have the job now. Here's my title. Here's what I'm doing. Guess what? Now you're just starting. In my opinion, now you're just starting. Because you got there, there's 50 people below you. Think about it. You're a Major League Baseball player. You did the percentages of how many people actually get to the big leagues. You get to that point, I'm the starting first baseman of the Cincinnati Reds. Guess what? There's 100 dudes who want to knock you out of that lineup and take your job. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Dude, I got the chills. You're firing me up.
I'm fired up about it. By the way, this is business, sports, anything
this
you do.
This is everything, dude. Yes. This isn't just baseball. I was talking to Dell Technologies the other day, to their company about this same thing. Like, hey, listen, because they're one of the top companies out there, right? And I said, listen, one thing you need to know about any industry you're in, any company you're a part of, any profession you're a part of. We always used to say in the big leagues, hey, it's tough to get there. It's tougher to stay. So the biggest thing is, how do you stay? You got to continue to grow. You got to continue to improve. You got to continue to get better. When we talked about Bo Bichette, hey, what's Bo Bichette doing? Hey, man, this guy this year, his strikeouts are 14%. In 2022, 24%. 2019 to 21, 20.8%. 14% of the time he's striking out. That's a huge difference. That's an incremental jump. So what's he doing? He's getting better, right? So it's one thing to get there, another thing to stay, another thing to be an MVP candidate, another thing to be an all-star, another thing to win a World Series. You see what I'm saying? So like the great ones, they're never satisfied. The great ones are relentlessly consistent with their process. They're relentlessly consistent with what they put in their bodies. They're relentlessly consistent with their sleep. They're relentlessly consistent with their working out, and they do it day in and day out. And that's how not only they get there, but they stay for 10, 20 years. And you talk about the one percenters, the Cooperstown guys, they just relentlessly are consistent over a 15 to 20 year period. And that's why they're the one percenters of the greatest people of all time.
Yeah, I'll add to that. One of the best quotes that's ever been on our air whatsoever is when we had John Smoltz on, and he goes, nobody thinks Michael Jordan's the best because they remember the shots that he missed. They remember the shots that he made because he took the shots. And the second part about that, think about it. What makes, I don't care, you can say LeBron, anybody can have those arguments. You know why Michael Jordan was the best? Because guess what? Karl Malone, I got you. Patrick Ewing, I got you. Reggie Miller, I got you. Barkley, I got you. Elijah Warren, I got you. he wouldn't let anybody knock him off the pedestal because he outworked them and psychologically did the stuff. He's not eating a ham and cheese sandwich. Right. He's eating, the oats and all that green shit you take in. and hey, that's the advantage. Outworks you.
And he overcame. So we've talked about this before, but he overcame the fear of taking that shot because preparation and action are the antidote to fear. So he was prepared. He took the shots when no one was looking. Him and Kobe and all these LeBron, these guys. But they also took the action when it was time to have the game on the line. They took the shot, right? And what does that do? That turns into courage, and that kills the fear, right? It kills the fear. Another great one I was talking about too is you're talking about raising your numbers. Bichette's sweet spot rate by season, which means he's barreling balls up. 33% 2022, 33.5 21, 23, 2023, 48.6, dude. That's a humongous jump. So this guy's getting better and better as the years go, and he's only really kind of coming into himself. So I love it, man. It's a great topic, and like I said, it fits everywhere. It fits for all of us as human beings too. Right. Like if you're if you're not doing stuff every day to have better energy and to get your mind thinking in a better place, like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, like that's what we should be doing every day. And that law of integrity, do what you say you're going to do. So I love it, man. Yeah. It fires me up. That's why I'm throwing it out there right now to Breakthrough Pro, breakthrough-pro.com. Come join us. Come join us at breakthroughpro.com. And, you want to talk about taking your game of life or whatever you are. If you're an athlete, if you're a CEO, if you're a parent, come take our course and, take your game of life kind of another level. 8 weeks. Let's get it on. Or just come hang out with me on Zoom.
Let's go.
Or in person, whenever you want to. Chinch.
Let's end right here, dude. I'm freaking fired up. I'm going to go do a bunch of bench presses, some push-ups, couple sit-ups. I'm going to go cut down some trees in my backyard. Let's go. Let's have a good day today.
Let's go, baby. Let's go get it. Let's have a great weekend, everybody. Chinch, I love you, brother. I love everybody for listening. Thank you. We'll see you on Monday.